Hello, everyone. This is a continuation of our series talking about different roles within game development organizations, studios, shops, indie studios, AAA studios. And today we're gonna discuss the role of Chief Technology Officer within game development organizations. And everything definitely depends on the size of the organization, so the roles can be like kind of fluid in a sense. What is the main responsibility of the chief technology officer? So without further ado, let's have a discussion about that. I believe that for smaller size companies, the role of the chief technology officer might be just programming the product, basically doing the work of programming games, programming software, programming analytic tools, kind of like doing the integrations within APIs, SDKs, and some other tools. But as the organization is kind of like growing, the role definitely changes, and instead of being just a developer who's making a certain game mechanic or a certain software feature, Chief Technology Officer is more of a leadership role, which is responsible for a different set of tasks and a different set of things that he needs to do in order to make sure that the company is successful. So, for number one task, in my point of view, and let's put Chief Technology Officer in here, I believe it should be technological or technology strategy. So basically, strategy, but focusing more on the tech side. So, right, business have different vertices. Businesses typically have sales, lead processing, in specifically for game development, right? There are different things outside of technology, such as like marketing campaigns, social media, and all of those vertices, they can have different strategies in terms of how studio is trying to promote itself or promote like a certain product, then how they're trying to sell, make money off of it, so on and so forth, right? But CTO specifically, he's responsible for the tech strategy. And what does it mean? So let's say your studio is using Unity 3D engine, you have 30 people that are working for you, and then a new physics engine comes out to the market, which is super hot. A lot of new games are being used in order to I'm sorry, a lot of new games are being published with the use of this engine. A lot of those games, they're easily convertible, and this engine is like super hot. So the role of the chief technology officer would be to do the analysis and see what it would take for a studio strategically to switch from Unity 3D to this engine, or from, let's say, Unreal to Unity 3D, or write your own engine. So the role of the chief technology officer is to get all the inputs and see what the possible outputs would be from this tech stand perspective, right? Super important, and it goes in a lot of different ways, right? If you're trying to, let's say, as a company, switch your in-app system or switch your monetization system, or let's say you're trying to use a different mediation system within all your games, all those large decisions, they require strategic thinking from the CTO side. Also, all the new projects, let's say within your organization there is a need for developing additional suite of analytic tools or mediation tools or whatever it can be. The role of chief technology officer would be to weigh in all the pros and cons, to kind of have this high level analysis of what it would take from the tech stack perspective in order to pull this off, and does it even make sense? Is it even feasible for your company to do that? It might not be, right? The chief technology officer might come in and say, hey, I took a look at what it would take our company to switch mediation platforms. It would take us probably like 5 months worth of development, and I need I don't know, 10 developers, again, speaking hypothetically, in order to do that, so it's not a worthy investment on the company side. Let's stick to the tools that we use currently. So number 2, right, is leadership. He has to be a leader of the technology organization within your game development studio, startup, AAA studio. So he has to have a lot of expertise within the tech field, and he have to lead the people. He have to not only be a leader, but also he needs to understand the strategy of how to develop the develop people who are in tech department within your organization, right? How he's gonna grow those developers or grow the QA department. Again, depending on the size, there are like different roles that participate within the organization. So he has to be a leader, and he has to take like a top-down approach in terms of looking at the organization from the most top line and seeing how the tech organization fits within the larger picture, and how he can develop people who are working for tech organization properly, how he can give them the skills, and how he can lead them, motivate them, educate them, and how he can take the business to a new step, essentially. So the next thing that is super crucial and super important for chief technology officer would definitely be, in my point of view, I would say that especially for like small to mid-sized organizations, is definitely like understanding the processes and understanding like what the company is all about. So like if you're selling software, it would be great if your CTO understands what the sale pipeline is, where we're lacking as a company, what needs to be done in order to substitute those weaknesses as well, versus if you're purely just shipping game to the markets. How can you maximize the impact of the tech organization, how you can speed people up within the tech department? So like taking a look at the processes from the top line, and then kind of like trickling down and seeing what can be done in order to make tech department as strong as possible, I would say, is like understand needs and processes. And then my number 4 thing would be understanding scaling as well. So how is this person planning to scale your company from the technical standpoint? Even if you're a game development company of a decent size, right, like 30 people, I don't know, 100 people, a few hundred people, the role of the CTO is to understand this is where we are right now from the technical standpoint, but if we want to be so much further away as a company, like quadrupling the revenue, quadrupling the amount of products that we're shipping, doing more than just game development, maybe supporting game developers with various tools, analytics, whatever the case might be, the role of Chief Technology Officer is to strategically think about how he can scale the company from the tech stack perspective. Who are the key players? What is the product? How we can sell this product more with the support of technical organization? Like what tools and what things does he need to focus his attention and his tech department attention in order to make this company successful? So from my perspective, right, those are the 4 main points of the Chief Technology Officer. But depending on the structure of your game development startup, depending on which stage you're in, what are your goals, it might slightly fluctuate, right? And sometimes people think, right, so if I'm a founder within the startup and I'm a developer, I can easily grow into the hat of Chief Technology Officer. But from my perspective, it's not just coding, and it's not just understanding how to like ship a product and how to program some sort of like integration or an API. It's more of a leadership role than anything else. So you have to learn how to communicate, how to motivate, how to analyze the business from the top down approach, and then how to scale this business as well. So you essentially have to be a salesman, and then a tech lead, and then kind of like an analyst, all in the same hat in order to be a successful chief technology officer. So this is my take. Please let me know what you think. Definitely join our Discord community. We're discussing a lot of stuff game related in there, and if you have any feedback in terms of what you think are the top qualities for Chief Technology Officer, definitely write it out in the comments. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody.